So hi, I'm Taylor Rose, and this is the main, um, this is like the really just the tip of the iceberg, the cherry on top of a sundae, just like, except it's a big cherry on top of that sundae. But I really do feel like my childhood, if you go back to my video, if you want to learn more about my childhood and like how it kind of all like led to this point in time, um, it'll explain a whole lot, just about me and like how I grew up and just the kind of person that I am, and so this right here is, I mean, I don't even know what to call it, but I just know that this happens to so many freaking people and it's not even cool. So I'm gonna start, and yes, I'm really sick right now. I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling sick. Nauseous, just yeah, my sinuses. Anyway, I'm in the lymphatics, been swollen for I don't even know how long now. But it all makes sense. Maybe it's just from the stress, but I do know that it's probably from something, and something's probably gonna go down. But I've been waiting for it for a long time. So anyway, meaning like to be liberated and delivered, which I do believe that I will be, and just like a lot of other people in this world too, and because the truth is inevitable, it will come out, and that is the only thing that's going to prevail in the end. So anyway, so I'll start. I do feel sick though. Yeah, like nauseous. Anyway, so I ended up liking this Colton Sievers guy, right? And I never told him, and he liked me, and he never told me. Like we tried one time in the car, but we both just like didn't say anything at all. It was kind of weird, but like we were cool. Like we were just best friends or just friends, and I watched him go girl after girl after girl after girl, whatever, and it's just not a relationship I was gonna get myself in, because I know what I want, especially after the abuse from when I was little and just seeing everything and just I mean, if you go back to my videos, it'll like totally explain my kind of person and who I am. But so I wasn't gonna get into a relationship like that, and I was gonna be one of the bros, and I told him I would never lust him, and he just was taken back by that, It's just like I don't want to lust. It's a temporary fix to me, and I rather have love, and I'll wait out for it because I've been through too much, and or we all go through a lot, and so I just don't really think he understood it, which is all right. He didn't have to. I rejected a lot of people. I'm not here for anybody else. I don't have to do anything with anybody else. And so, well, he was with this girl, Amanda J, and she was super, 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 super jealous of me. Even though, like, I mean, I freestyled with her one time because she was feeling down, man, and I took a picture of Colton and Amanda actually, and I sent it to her phone. Like, I thought we were all right, man, but girls, you know how they are. Um, yeah, well, anyway, so after like we didn't express ourselves, right, and all that kind of stuff during that time frame or whatever, I was actually living in Lincoln, Nebraska with Ryan Love Friends. And there was a whole lot of other people in that apartment complex in Havelock, in Nebraska. And it was so crazy because I felt like there was something wrong with the building, because I did mold remediation growing up, which I didn't mention before, but my baby daddy, or the father to my child, okay, Dylan Witchman, his father, James Witchman, I worked with him for A1 Cleaning Connection. It was like a mold remediation company, so it's like demolition, removing mold, for Steve Boss there in Lincoln. And that is a very specific job, an exact job, okay? So if you want to remove mold from a home, like black mold, let's say, like, because granted, living in mold is not necessarily bad, okay, depending on what kind of mold it is, but black mold can kill you after like so long, like 2-3 years, okay? It will kill you. You will go mentally ill, okay? You'll breathe in spores right through your nose, and it'll swell your prefrontal cortex, okay? And it'll cause anxiety, decision making, issues, emotional irregulation. So like your emotions are gonna be woo hoo 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 hoo, and not only that, but like focus, concentration, like memory loss. And then after like so long, like all those spores, all that stuff, they're little time, you don't even see them, but you're breathing them in like that. They go into your lungs, they go throughout your body and your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system is head to toe, okay? But they're called sinuses up here, okay, in your face, but they still like do the same thing, okay? So they didn't connect them, okay? But everything that's not made for your body goes into your lymphatic system, so it gets sweat out, right? So you can sweat it out and you can detox, or you can like massage slowly. You can massage, like slowly guide all right, all the way up, you know, like towards your heart, so you can get the circulation going, and then away. But you gotta go slow, you know, and you can push it into your bloodstream. You can piss it out. You can, you know, you could cough it up. You know, your mucus, your lymphatic up here, which mine's swollen, but your throat chakras right here, 741, and that's how you detox, right? You can listen to 741 on YouTube. Okay, I mean, I can explain all this. Well, anyway, so I was in this apartment building, and another thing with mold, like, I mean, it's just something that I grew up with because I worked in it. You literally have to take a house, right? And if it's in a room, you have to like quarantine that room off completely with a zipper. You have to put on a whole bodysuit, like hazmat, whatever, and a mask and stuff, and go in and use specific chemical like sporicidin. And people use bleach. That does not work. That does not work. Bleach does not work to kill mold, okay? It does not, okay? That is man-made, okay? It actually makes it worse, okay? Maybe vinegar, but the vinegar doesn't even really truly do it, you know? And you have to remove everything from the home, wipe everything down, you know? And then you have to wipe, like, ceiling to floor, like, every square inch with a sporicidin, okay? And then you put a dehumidifier in there, and then you have to, like, run that for, like, 2 days, you know? And then you take the spore count again, make sure there is no spore in the air at all, okay? And so that's basically what you have to do, you know? And so it's a really exact job. So I was at this apartment, and I just noticed, like, they had mold there, okay? And I just really noticed it. And they talked to black mold in the apartment, each apartment, like, prior, and they just painted over it and stuff like that. And they were just living there. And I mean, you could just walk in and just feel the difference. You could just feel the difference. And then my sinuses really started swelling up. And I mean, I did research on this. So, like, I never said this before, but my mom was an LPRN. That's the school that she went through, okay? So I grew up with my mom, like, testing, you know, like, you know, examining us, you know, and that's how I kind of, like, learned, you know, how to, like, visualize and look at a body and be able to know, right? If someone's, like, sinuses are full and stuff, or if it's square, or if it's tight right here, like, all that's tight, like, swollen. Yeah. I'm actually really not feeling good. But anyway, so, like, I just started noticing this stuff. And not only that, but, like, fungus, okay, causes yeast infection. Yes, it's a real thing. Yeast infection, okay? And then athlete's foot, you know, it's the same kind of thing. Not only that, but it can get into your lungs, cause a lung infection, or, like, you know, and it gets into your sinuses. Like, your sinuses will be like Popeye, you know, like swole right here. You have a lymph node right here, or your lymph node, not sinus, lymph node right here, and your ears, back behind your ears, it'll get all hard. You got a bump on top of your head, like the mucus bubble or whatever on top of your head, and it just takes so much from you because it, like, puts pressure on your brain. But black mold, what it does is it drives you mentally ill. Okay, because, like, on your brain, all that pressure on there, it, like, you won't even know. It's such a silent killer because you'll think that you're all right. You'll be in denial because people nowadays, and their ego, right, and pride, you know, people don't want to learn anything. They don't want to learn anything new. And a lot of people don't take care of their body or care to get in tune with their body to even know. And so I started mentioning something to every single person there, you know, and they actually got really sick of hearing it. But I used vinegar, because you use vinegar, put it on your body, or, like, put a cup in a bath, a hot bath, you know, and it'll draw it out, and it makes you feel so much better. Oh my gosh, you know, because, like, I felt like my ass cheeks were, like, clenched and stuff. Like, that's real. You know, you have a lymph node at the top of your butt crack, okay, and when that gets full, okay, it can feel like you have back pains, but it can cause, like, kidney, like, UTI, like, kidney, you know, infection, bladder infection. I actually ended up getting a bladder infection, but anyway. So they had mold there, and they just didn't really care. And I'm just like, I don't know. I just, like, foresaw what was gonna happen, you know. And I, like, went in the moment. It felt like it was so real. It really did. It felt like it was so extremely real. Like, it was gonna happen, like, soon, you know. I don't know. It was weird. Like, it was like foresight, you know, into the future or something. Like, I just freaking knew what was gonna happen because I knew about mold. Well, they were perfectly fine, you know. I mean, except they kept getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And there was older men there with purple feet, because their circulation and their lymphatic, right? If you don't have circulation running through your lymph nodes, your feet will turn purple, man. It's just, like, not a good sign, okay? Not a good sign at all. And so anyway, so that's where it, like, kind of really started, like, because I had went to Omaha and hung out with Colton, like, while I was living with Ryan LaFrenz, you know, but no one really liked it. No one liked it at all. Like, I really noticed it, and I actually told him, too. I was like, dude, do you not notice this? But he was, like, so, he just couldn't believe that his family would, like, not want the best for him, you know? And so, and, like, all the lies that have been told on me, all the rumors that have been told on me, like, So much has been told on me. I don't even know what they are. I never really paid attention to it, you know, and I didn't want to hear it when people said stuff. I'm like, I don't really care. Because the truth is going to prevail, and I'm not too worried about it, you know. And, well, anyway, so there was, so not only that apartment, but like Ronald Ruth, down on like 4th and G in Lincoln. He was like living in, like, or he would chill out in this garage with his parents' house. And it was crazy because, like, over there, like, I mean, I just met these people, okay? I mean, there's so many houses throughout Lincoln, so many of them. Then there's also one like on 20th and G, you know, area. Like I went there, and there's like fungus each one, each house, you know. And I met this Kyle Christian, and it was crazy because I was talking to him, dude, and I was talking to him about the fungus, and that's when he told me, right? He's like, yeah, colleges used to do these experiments, right, with or they would put different kind of fungus out into each community, or not each one, but like certain ones, like suburban areas, you know, just to experiment to see how the people would start to react, because it messes with your personality and it messes with the way that you perceive things, right? It's like they were experimenting on ways to try to control people and like get them to dim down, you know, so it'd be easier led like sheep, you know. And so they did these experiments, and it's so crazy because then COVID came out, right? And I really do believe that's what COVID is. It's just a fungus, it's just a fungal infection. And even over in India, right? Even in India, like when they had the black fungus and stuff, if you look that up on YouTube, it just all makes sense. Well, I went around saying this stuff, and no one wanted to hear me. No one wanted to hear me at all. I even said something about like Bill Gates, because he was like spraying black dust or whatever over everything. I remember reading an article, and it was like to stop global warming, and I'm like, I don't think he's trying to stop global warming. Like, what the heck, you know? And it's just crazy because that was like during the same time that COVID actually started happening too. So Kyle Christian or whatever, I had just met him. I was trying to be a friend with him. I didn't want to be with him, and oh, I don't feel good. Okay, so I kind of forgot where I was. I just like I've been feeling really sick recently, like my eyes, like I don't know. Anyway, so I started going on about this, you know, and this is like, I mean, I lived at that Havelock place, you know, for a good long minute, you know, I really did. My aunt even brought me my mail, and so I remember that too. It was like a weird meeting too, but because she didn't really, you know, or it was my uncle, not my aunt. He didn't really stick around long or anything like that, but anyway, I'm sick doing this, okay? Um, but there's a lot that really started happening, and it was really so confusing. It was so confusing because, I mean, I don't even know when it really began, because I was staying there. Colton like had dropped out of my life, just dropped out of my life. Next thing you know, like I'm walking when I'm going to houses and stuff, I'm being followed by a lot of cars. I mean, a lot of freaking cars, man. And like they were obviously following me, dude, you know. Kind of reminded me of Colorado, but it was like different, you know. Like these people, like they would like drive by me, and they would like stare at me the entire time, you know, just trying to make me feel like I was an outcast and stuff, you know. And the whole community actually got in on it. And I like I said, it's all really like a blur, you know. And I'm not feeling really great too. But like, I mean, there was police that were involved, these cops, the police, and then the police, sorry, I got a headache. I do not feel good at all. It just started. It was like so bad. But the police, the feds, okay, the politicians there, like, I actually met this guy, like Warren Buffett's son. Yeah, dude, like, I mean, everybody, ambulances, fire trucks, mailmen, company vehicles, school buses, with no children at all, like Amazon Prime, UPS, FedEx, buses, like even the hospitals that I would go to, they like just basically shoved in like the needle or whatever to get my blood, dude. They did not care. They were all in it too. They tried to tell me that they came in. Actually, I was about to leave because I felt like they were all like a part of it too. And I don't know if it's like a cult or a secret society. I really do feel like it's a cult, but there's so many people that are a part of it. I don't know if it's like some Illuminati. That's something I've also heard along the way, but like some gang thing, like just huge. But like military is involved. Just so many people, like especially celebrities and famous people, are so in on this too. And judges, like county attorneys. I mean, all this shit. Everybody, like especially like, I mean, so many freaking people around the world, but in Lincoln, Nebraska, it was freaking the whole community. It was the whole freaking community, man. And no one ever gave me validation for anything that ever happened. And this might be like a little sloppy me telling this, okay? But I would, hold on. I feel sick. Okay, so let me just start right here, okay? So he like dropped out of my life, and I was being followed, and I didn't really understand it. Okay, I was like, actually at first I didn't even really understand or realize, but I went to a lot of houses. Okay, there's certain houses right in Lincoln that some MK Ultra. I don't really feel like it's an MK Ultra thing, but I met this Lyle Hinton. He's like, he talked to me about one percenters. He talked about the COVID and how they spread it was like through the AC and how, like the heat exhaust or the heat intake or output, or I don't know, like something like that, like our ACs and like the weather outside and the humidity, causing humidity and stuff like that. And it does affect the body, and like when that affects your body in a certain kind of way, it takes like a part of you that you're not even going to notice, you know. And so anyway, but so I do not feel good. The flashlight terrorizing. Okay, so there was like something that happened. So there was a lot of people that talked about like black magic, black magic, black magic. I don't know about magic, okay? I have no idea, but people kept talking about it. And really, it's like black magic is like Hollywood, right? Holly is the type of wood that they make their wands out of. It's some illusion. It's like a matrix. It's like it's all an act. It's like setting up shop like it's a freaking movie scene. And I mean, so many freaking people. So freaking many people, dude. So many people, man. I'd go to house to house to house to house to house to house to house, and everyone would gaslight me. Okay, try to make me feel as if I don't know what I'm talking about. Try to make me feel freaking crazy. And there was cops involved, feds involved. Like these, like seriously, the people that are supposed to be protecting and serving, right? And no one ever really gave me validation. Everyone lied. Like, no one freaking told me the truth. Everyone was in on this. Not only that, but people got paid to do this, okay? I had my family, like Jesse Stinson, my cousin from Lincoln. He said he was a blood or something. Like, all these people, like, all these gang members, all the drug people, even people that were in church, you know, especially, you know, governmental politicians, like, people that are in charge of stuff doing this, you know, gang stalking me. And I would walk from one side of town to the other side of town because I would leave a house, right? I would totally leave a house. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to take this. This is not freaking cool, you know? I got recorded up and down alleyways. They actually showed me in a house one day. They moved the television, and I actually saw me on TV in this alleyway. And I was like, what the heck, you know? And I mean, it was crazy. It was freaking crazy. And they recorded me up and down the alleyways. They actually, I got recorded in a shower too. Many times. I can't count the number of times that I've actually worn clothes in the shower. And the first time that it happened, like, I felt the energy of it. It was just crazy. Like, it was just, you know, the light fixture, it was like square, and like there was a camera in there, and I just felt everyone, like all the eyes that were watching that just on me. And I sat down in the shower. I didn't even wash myself, dude. I hugged my knees forever because I didn't know what the freak to do. And I ended up getting out of the shower, and I went out there, and there's a guy named Mike Bell on like 10th and D. He was fixing up this like really old house or whatever, like really nice fancy house for this like I think it was like some millionaire or whatever that owned it. And so he was working on it, and I would go stay there, like all these different places, you know. I'd go and stay. I don't feel good. I really don't feel good. I do not feel good. It was just weird how it's hitting me. But anyway, so I was there, and yeah, I went to go get my shoes on, and he was talking to me, and I didn't understand what he was saying, and so I was just silent, putting on my shoes, because like, I mean, it hurt, you know, it really did hurt, man. That's like, I already didn't have any real friends, you know, but it's just like, I found my own sense of self-love and self-worth through this whole journey. So, I mean, I'm really grateful for it. But I was putting on my shoes, and next thing you know, he's like, that's kind of rude, you don't want to answer me, you know. I mean, just just rude. And so I kind of snapped, you know, and I was like, are you serious? You know, I didn't even really say anything, because it's like, no one ever validated me throughout this entire freaking journey. I mean, other people from other states, I mean, they had people from other states coming in to stalk me, just to freaking stalk me. And this black magic thing, I was sitting outside, I was like 20th and J, I was sitting outside on a curb, and down the alley, my friend Ryan, and I forgot this other guy's name, but he had red hair and stuff, and I just met a lot of people, man. And this other girl, like, they had my clothes, my luggage, right, that I had at Ryan's house, just pulled it out, like, down at the end of the alleyway, and like took some of my clothes, and then like they had some other stuff, I just don't really remember exactly what it was, and they lit a fire. Then some guy had a book, right, and like saying that they were chanting spells and doing spells, and I was like, what the freak, right? Next thing you know, there's like a bright ass light, like boom. And so what do? I shut my eyes. I did. I shut my eyes. I really did. Sorry, I thought I was gonna puke. So I shut my eyes, and next thing you know, I have nothing but bright ass lights. Just a bunch of bright lights. And I'm like, I didn't open my eyes, man, because I didn't know, because like the way that everybody was talking about it, I didn't know if black magic was freaking real. You know, I mean, everyone like had me believing, like, or tried to make me believe as if it was like something was real. And I don't know the freaking facts of it. I did not know. You know, and so I had my eyes shut, and all these lights, man, I'm not. I'm not kidding you. The place that I was at, the place across the street where I've been to, where I met all these people. I mean, all these people. Okay, all these people had all their different lights. Each one had a freaking light, man. And so they were. This guy came by or whatever, and I had my eyes shut, sitting there. And there's a lot of people outside. Okay. And he's like, Taylor, come on, why do you got your eyes shut? I'm like, I'm not opening my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, literally, this went on for 4 freaking hours. I ended up standing up with my eyes closed, trying to walk, trying to find my way. I mean, it was embarrassing, you know? Like, I mean, it's humiliating. And that's exactly what they wanted to do, was humiliate me. And why, I don't know, man. But and so like everybody was coming out their house, and my eyes were shut. I'm trying to find my way, and they're like, don't touch my lawnmower. They had lights, like Christmas lights on the lawnmower, you know what I mean? I can kind of like make my, you know, squint through and kind of see, you know, but I didn't want to open my eyes all the way. And I mean, so many people were outside, dude, you know. And the next thing you know, I got to the road, and I went down the block, and I came back, man, and so many trucks were driving by me and stuff. I mean, like, I thought I was gonna get hit, you know, basically. And I mean, so many, they were all messing with me. And I actually ended up going like maybe 5 blocks away to the McDonald's, right? And this is when the sun had come up yet. I don't even know. My eyes were shut, you know. And anyway, so the cop finally stopped me. He's like, you're in the middle of the road, you know. And I'm like, okay, well. And I tried to tell him, I actually told him what was going on. I'm like, dude, well, this just happened. I don't know if I can open my eyes, dude. Like, you know, people are, I just don't know. I don't know, man. And I actually had like a speech before I even got over to the McDonald's. I had a speech, man, and I was straight up telling everybody, like, this is freaking not cool. You know, you think that you're cool and doing this stuff, like, it's freaking not cool, you know. And I didn't realize that it was all some illusion, but that's still not cool. And I'm very proud of the speech that I made that day. I was loud about it, you know. And my baby daddy Dylan was there. I mean, everybody. Dylan was a part of the whole thing too, and they were throwing stuff on me as well. I don't really know exactly what it was, but I think they were like leaves, you know, when you get like dry leaves and stuff, you know, and they get like a little wet, it creates this like mold, right? Man, Lincoln had all, like, they went above and beyond just to mess with me, you know. And it's just freaking crazy, dude, because like every time they messed with me, I'd grow stronger, you know, I'd come back at it stronger and stronger and stronger. And like I kept, like, I would heal myself, I wouldn't project it back out onto other people, and I would go through and I'd start smiling, you know, and I'd still show the love, and I showed compassion, and I sat people down, and I was like, look, you pick your role, you play your part, you know, like, and I don't want you to have karma, you know. And I literally told everybody that more than one time. I had to go back around because I had no other choice. I mean, I tried to leave this situation. I tried to leave this situation. I couldn't leave the situation, like. And you know, and I hit up other people from other different states that were not a part of this, and they did not listen to me, they would not hear me, and like they were like, just leave. And I'm like, you don't get it, like, this whole freaking community is on this. I don't know what to do, you know. Well, anyway, I don't know what that was, but anyway, so I got to the McDonald's, and the police officer stopped me, right? And I told him, and so he didn't take me to the mental ward. He, like, you know, normally, like, when a cop sees a person like that, they try to get him some help, right? No, because the cops were involved in it. He actually guided me to the McDonald's, and everyone was laughing. I mean, everywhere. I mean, it was humiliating, you know. So I got into the McDonald's, I sat there, and I actually ended up opening my eyes. I was like, oh my gosh. I could have opened my eyes the entire time. Like, I was like, what the hell? So I went back to that house. I went right through that front door, and I freaking punched this Jeremy guy. It was like Jeremy something, okay, in the arm, like, not hard, okay, because I'm not mean, you know. And I'm just like, I thought I was gonna flip out on him, but I didn't, you know. And I'm just like, ha, joke's on me, huh, you know. And he just laid there like it wasn't nothing, you know. And but I was so used to being like messed with at this point, like, seriously, so used to being messed with. Like, they have these certain houses throughout Lincoln, these feds they do experiments, okay. They literally on people, like, they have these different kind of drugs, okay. They make different kind of drugs for different kind of reasons, okay. And like, for real. And then all the cops, all the feds, all the I'm sick. Anyway, okay. What are they? The task force. Yeah, they actually do drugs themselves, and they push it back out onto the street. They put the drugs back out on the street, and then they bust people. And then that's why in Lincoln, Nebraska, like, so many people snitch on people because they get out of jail like that. Like, the system there is just so messed up and corrupt. Like, all the politicians, all the lawyers, like, all this shit, man. They all be doing all this kind of crap, you know? And then all these other people get innocent freaking people, mind you, you know, that don't have the right name, that don't have, or, like, you know, a high social status, that don't have, like, money, right? They're the ones that get messed with. They're the ones that, you know, people like try to make them seem as if they're crazy, and everyone like teams up on them. Like, it's insane. So this Colton guy that I met, I don't know if he was like in some governmental family. I don't know if he was like ex-military. I don't know, but it had something to do with that. And it's like I feel sick. Even the hospitals, you know, like the fake ambulances. I'd get onto a fake ambulance, and they would tough me, or like they didn't care like how they treated me. And this happens to so many freaking people. It's not even freaking funny, man. It is not freaking funny, dude. And like I feel sick. All right, I'm sorry. I just like did not feel good. Okay. So I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. But this really happened, and this happens to other people too, and it's just insane. The whole freaking community. And so like I thought the black magic, I didn't know what to think of it. So I was staying at this Mike Bell's house, and he told me that there's 4 other people in the world with the same name. So I have a feeling that that's not his name, you know, but he's from Texas and from Oklahoma, you know, and that's all these people I've talked about is, I'm going to go down to Texas, or I'm going to go to Oklahoma, or in Oklahoma they've talked about it, Texas, California. And so like so there's like a lot of like celebrities, and like a lot of celebrities, a lot of authoritative figures, politicians, government, like just all a part of this shit. And so I went to his shed in the back behind his house, the shed. I went to the attic there, right? And I mean, I was just snooping around. I really was, dude, because I just didn't understand any of this shit, and no one freaking wanted to validate me. I tried to call my parents. They would not come and help me. They thought I was freaking crazy, dude. They're like, go get help, you know. And I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, are you serious, you know? Because I mean, everyone was in on this, and it was just freaking insane. Like, and so I went to the attic, and I found this like frog, right? And it was like sewed up. The lips were sewed up. There was beads on it. And then there was this big giant like bat thing. If you look at my other YouTube channel, dude, I straight up, man, like I have a little video on there, dude, and I took a video of it and I posted that shit. Like a big giant black like it was like cloth, you know, cut out and everything, like it would be for a play, you know. And I just was like, okay, I'm the heck out of here. So I left, you know. And next thing you know, like a couple days later, and it was like a couple weeks later, that black thing is hanging from the tree, and I'm at Ross Byers' house, which is right next door, who said he had nothing to do with this, and he definitely did, you know, because he felt guilty one time, and I'm like, if you wanted to do something about this and bring justice, then you would. So he went and took the mirror off in the bathroom that had like some camera in it or something, and so he took that off and down so I could take a shower, and so I respected that. But he still fucking knew about this shit, you know. And there's cameras all up in the house, like everywhere I've gone, man, I got recorded. Even like, so I showered with clothes on and stuff. And well, anyway, this bat thing was hanging from the tree, and it kind of freaked me out. I'm like, what the heck, you know? And not only that, but like I'd be chilling outside trying to freestyle in a car, man. I'd be walking wherever, man. I'd have so many people just stalking me. Freaking stalking me, dude. Not leaving me alone. Not giving me privacy at all. Like, I mean, man's one fundamental right is to be let alone. And I just never had that. I just did not have that. My family was involved in it. They used my daughter in this. Like, they used my daughter in this, you know. And my daughters had to be way stronger than I've ever had to be. Like I remember being on Westo, and I was walking, and there's a bunch of military people, you know, police, and I mean, for real. I mean, and I was walking, and this is after like months of this already having gone on, right? My daughter is at this, I don't even know what to call it, this auto body shop, you know, but there's a fence around it. My dad's standing there in this auto body uniform, and my daughter is standing right next to him, jumping around, dude. And I'm like, I'm pretty far, but I saw it, you know. And I like, that time when I saw it, dude, I just like was like, that's not my daughter. That's not my daughter. You know, this cannot be my daughter. But then the second time I was like on 27th or 28th and O. Okay, no, 28th and like M or something like that. And I was going through an alleyway, and I looked to the left, and I see my daughter sitting on a trampoline, like she's on her knees, and she's looking down on the ground. And all the other kids around her are jumping. They're like, come on, Alex, jump, jump, jump. You know, because that's her name. And and I just dropped to the ground. I hit my knee, my knees to the ground. And dude, like, I was just in complete, like, just shock. I feel sick right now, but I'm trying to talk about it. I was in complete freaking shock. I was just like, what the hell, And then right away, to the right, my dad, who I didn't know was my dad yet, rolled up on a Harley, a brand new Harley Davidson. Okay, rolled up, parked in the music was playing, parked in the driveway, right across from the alleyway from this house. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, how the hell are they in Lincoln? Like, they know everybody in Lincoln too. Like, this is what I'm like starting to figure out. Like, everyone in freaking Lincoln, and for months, and for a while I didn't even know it was going on, but which I don't know. Anyway, so he got off his Harley after shutting it off, and I didn't know it was my dad yet until he took off his helmet, and like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do with that? And so he started walking inside, and then before he even got too far, he had his beeper, to his Harley, and was like, beep beep, like he just bought a new Harley with the money that they took from me, that I didn't even know I had. Like, who cares? I would have gave it to him. I would have freaking gave it to them, and then he just like walked inside, dude, and like that's when my daughter had already moved out of the picture. And the thing about it is, like, I started crying, and this has happened, I can't even count the number of times. So like I'm not even gonna go into each time that this has happened. But I started bawling my eyes out, obviously, and I bawled because I had no one to go to. I had no one to talk to. I freaking bawled my eyes out, man. And within 5 freaking minutes, next thing you know, everybody's walking up to me like, are you okay? Are you okay? What's wrong? Are you okay? Like, they're doing that on purpose, and that happened so many freaking times that by the time, like, so many times of it happening, I just quit saying anything. I mean, I was homeless on the freaking street, going day after day after day after day. Okay, I didn't really even do much drugs, but I mean, I sometimes, you know what I mean, because I had to stay up because I didn't know what I don't know, man. But like, seriously, like for 3 days in a row, everybody's gaslighting me. I'm not gonna be able to do. I don't want your freaking drugs, you know what I'm saying? So I would leave. I'd go to another house, and I mean, that's the truth of what it is, though. I mean, I'll admit this, like this, and because this happens to so many freaking people, man. But so I just quit. I quit saying anything, and this is hard for me to say because I've already said this like numerous freaking times, and no one ever freaking heard me. No one ever heard me, and this shit was pretty freaking traumatizing. So of course I started crying. They were like, "What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong?" And are you okay? Like, you want me to call for help? And next thing you know, they call a fucking cop. And then next thing you know, the cop comes up, and next thing you know, I'm in the back of the freaking cop car. And next thing you know, they're asking me my name, and by this time, I'm like, I got in the back of a cop car so many freaking times, but this one specific time, I didn't say anything, so then they started pulling up another girl that looked like me when they knew it was not me. They freaking knew that it was not me. Okay. And, there's so many freaking things I could say. They knew it was not me. And so finally I was like, oh no, my name's Taylor Rose Cunningham, okay? Oh, sorry. Sorry, my ear started ringing. But, I don't know, the pressure in my head's insane. But, like, they knew it wasn't me, okay? And, so, anyway, so I told them my name. And then they were like, okay, well, we're going to take you to detox. So we ended up going to detox, okay? And they didn't test me for drugs. They didn't test me for alcohol. They never fucking did that. Excuse my language. They put me in a cell. And so that was one time, but the other time they put me in detox, man, I was up and down this alleyway towards Cornhusker Highway, because I knew this guy, Joshua Sanders. Okay, I met him and like all these other people, and so like friends with Lyle Hinton as well, and Colton Stevers, and Amanda J, and Ross Byers, and Doctreo West, Nick Benavides, Scott Clark, Scott Burnt, Taylor Randall, Matt Dill, James Foot, Amber Murphy, Timothy Poiter, like Brandy, like, I mean, there's a lot more too, and I'm not even saying them, okay, because I can't really remember right now, but but like, they were like police in some kind of way, and they have these different houses where they set up, and like, it's just some illegal activities, some illegal stuff that they should not be allowed to do, You know, they should not be in this position to be able to freaking do this shit where they have different drug houses, you know, and they get people fucked up on drugs, excuse my language, and then they push the drugs back out. You know, then they catch people. You know what I mean? It's just a big scandalous thing, man, and it's really not freaking cool, dude. And well, anyway, so lost my train of thought. So there was another time that I got took into detox, yeah, because anyways, yeah, so I saw this gravel road, and this road off Cornhusker, okay, by this McDonald's, like, I don't know exactly, but there was a Sanders, like, sign, okay, with the last name Sanders, and I'm like, huh. And I was so sick of this shit going on because I was the odd man out. I was the only one out. I was so sick of this shit going on that I went up and down this alleyway, right? And I screamed. I was like, where's Cole and where's Amanda? You know what I mean? Like, literally, it was like freaking like 8 months after, you know, dealing with this, 8 months later, I'm screaming, like, I need to talk to someone right now. Right now. I need to freaking talk to someone right now about this. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I miss my freaking daughter. Okay, my daughter freaking misses me. My hands are freaking tied. And I'm sick of this shit. I mean, I'm so freaking sick of this shit, you know? And not only that, but like so many people would change face somehow, you know? Like, I don't know if it's makeup. I don't know what the heck it is, man. Like, someone said hologram matrix stuff. But literally change face, man. And lie and say that there's somebody else. You know, so many times, you know? And it's just like, I could see right through the freaking lie. But like, everyone made me like double, triple guess myself. And so I really learned how to like listen to my intuition, but or like that I need to do that. But anyway, so this cop showed up, and he was wearing these like orange sunglasses, like as if he was some Hollywood movie person, you know. And it was just crazy because he's like, what's going on here? And I'm like, well, and I tried explaining it to him too, like I have everybody else, man. And dude, he asked me, like, because I had made a report about it before, and he's like, well, what's the case number? And I'm like, I don't know the case number, just pull up my name. You know what I mean? Like, he just didn't ask me the questions that a cop should ask me, you know? And so it was crazy because I started walking, and then he started following me. And so I started walking faster, and I started running. I started freaking running. I didn't want to get messed up by that cop before, like I already have, you know? And anyway, so, I mean, he ended up freaking tackling me, and then, next thing you know, he got me or whatever, and put me in the freaking car, you know, and then this other guy, he talks to this other guy, he's like, well, what do you want us to do with her? And that's the guy at the freaking building, you know, that's the guy at the building. When I was like, I want to talk to Colton, man, because, like, I wanted this shit to be over, I wanted them out of my life, I wanted this shit to stop, and the guy's like, well, talk to me, as if he's Colton or something, you know, but he didn't look like Colton, and, like, so I was like, no, I want to talk to Colton, and I know who that is, you know, and freaking... So the guy is the one that told the cop where I should go. And it's like he had money, or like he had some high social status, or like he was like some governmental like kid, like, you know, like born into a family where he was able to do that. And I don't feel good at all. But anyway, so he told them, it's like, well, take her to detox. I went to detox. This is actually the first time I went, not the other time. And I feel really sick right now. So when I went to detox that time, and there was another cop car that came up. There's 4 other people, and I got out the vehicle or whatever, you know, and I was just upset. Like, I didn't know what to make of anything. And I'm not mean, okay? I'm not like crazy violent, okay? But I just wasn't really exactly like cooperating. But I shouldn't, like, this shouldn't even been going on. You know what I mean? But I ended up cooperating. I didn't want to get out right away, you know, and like they ended up tying my feet together. They put my cuffs on so tight that I had bruises up and down my wrists. Okay, my sweatpants fell down. I had shorts on, but still, you know, it was just very humiliating. They all were standing there as if there was some camera on them, you know, straight up, like. And the cop that was driving anyway, like, he was driving the vehicle, and he was talking about his like little dog that he had and stuff, or whatever, or whatnot, and like he wasn't even a freaking real cop. And you know how many fake policemen, or if they're freaking real, this is not cool, because there's so many freaking policemen, you know, that act as if this is like some freaking movie or something, you know, but we're not on a cop show, okay? This is real life, and this is my rights, and this is not freaking cool, you know? And he was listening to 94.5, you know, listening to all this like hip like music, or like the music that's out nowadays, you know, and he just seemed like he just had like an ego, like as if he was a celebrity, you know, like full of himself, you know, and like kind of like, you know, I don't know, I don't want to say it, but Anyway, so they took me up there. They didn't test me for drugs. They didn't test me for alcohol. They put me in a room, and like it's like as if they had just painted this thing, dude. And then the whole the cement slab that I had, it's like it was wood when I knocked on it or whatever. And they had this like freaking hole in the ground where I had to piss in the ground like that. They didn't give me water. I was on my period. They didn't give me no tampons. Like they didn't give me no food this entire freaking time. I was loud about it the entire time too. I was like, I was making a speech, man. Like I'm pretty loud about the stuff, dude, the entire time. That's why they ended up like bringing me out to Oklahoma, dude. Which I thought I was getting away from it, but I really wasn't. You know. Oh, my neck. Sorry. But so anyway, so then they had a sex scene in there. They literally had a freaking sex scene in there. I looked out the freaking window, or the little tiny window in the door, and the security guard that was in there was basically like pretending as if he was gonna go into the other room, you know, where there was another girl, and they were talking about how she looked, you know, and all that kind of stuff, you know, and he was walking in there, and the other lady was like, yeah, have at it, you know, and like it was like a movie. It was like a freaking movie. It was like a freaking movie, you know, so like I don't really have clarity on like military this. I mean, it was everyone. It was freaking everyone. And it's like, I'm just a homeless girl on the street. I'm not famous. I'm not getting paid for this. Like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't even want to get paid for this. I don't care about money like that. I really do not, you know? And so he went into there, and next thing you know, I hear people having sex. You know, and I just started bawling, man, because I'm in there illegally. I don't know if they're gonna come in there. Like, I mean, I was freaking traumatized. It was freaking traumatizing, you know. I'm not breathing good. It was freaking traumatizing. But finally, like, they ended up leaving, like, letting me leave after I passed out, and I woke up, you know, and they were letting me leave. I went back to the same houses that, I mean, I had nowhere to freaking go, and everyone freaking knew this. Everyone knew this. And I've been to so many houses in Lincoln, dude. And so back to that black magic thing, that bat thing, actually downtown, they ended up having, it's like they were on a parade, like it was a movie thing. There's some celebrities or something, okay? And I don't know their real freaking names either. Like, you know how easy it is for all these people to get a fake ID and say that they're this person and they're not that freaking person? That happens everywhere, all the freaking time, man. And it's like they don't get in trouble because they got money to, they like, or they like, yeah, their money in their name. They don't get in trouble at all. They have a way to get out of that, and it's not freaking cool or right, you know. And I can't breathe. Hold on. Sorry, man. I'm really trying to get this out because I'm not feeling good, and I want to get it out before I'm not even able to ever get it out. Because I'm getting really sick, man. Well, anyway, so I don't even know where I was. But yeah, so after like so long, like the 8 months or 6 months, or I don't really exactly remember right now, but I remember being so sick of everything and being like, there was nothing I could do. There was no one I could freaking talk to. I ended up actually walking out of town. Like, I mean, I switched it up. Oh yeah, hold on, back to the bat thing. So they had a bat, and there was like a parade boat, okay, and they were like, this Mike Bell was like sailing, right? And they had all these people downtown, literally all for me, pretending as if they were some like witch coven cult thing, dude. And so it was freaking weird, dude. I mean, all the cars, everything, everyone. Because if a police officer was not, like, if they were not down for this, they wouldn't be a part of it doing it too. I mean, the whole thing. The whole thing. I mean, it was freaking, I don't even know how to explain a whole lot of this shit. I really do not. How to, like, I mean, it was like, what the heck and what the heck. You know, anyway, so there's this gravel road, and I started walking to Beaver Crossing from Lincoln. Like, I only got to Milford, and I ended up going back to Lincoln because I was tired as shit. But I walked on that gravel road, and I grew up, like, coming up and down this gravel road, okay? I know what this gravel road looks like, right? And I started going down, and they already had stuff set up. They were so fast about this. So freaking fast, man. And by the time I crossed over the train tracks, and I'm really getting out of town, you know, like, I'm looking left, I'm looking right, I'm looking left, I'm looking right. There's Parliament houses, like, as if they were, like, a painting. And I know these houses are not there right now. And, you know, and it's just like, how the hell were they able to do that? I mean, all the way down. Never seen these houses a day in my life, you know, and it's just like these houses that were not there. And so I kept going, and the next thing you know, like, dogs kept coming up and stuff onto the road. And so I actually, like, not laid down, but bent down and tried to hug them. I was like, I needed all the energy I could get, you know, for real. But anyway, so then they would run off, and I was going, and I mean, it was like 15 miles, man, and I did not stop. I was so mad. Like, I was so mad because it's like all of this stuff, and I haven't seen my daughter. Like, I really wanted to see my daughter. I miss my freaking daughter, and I know my daughter misses me, and it was so messed up. My parents never heard me about this shit, you know. And anyway, so I was walking and stuff, and like, I felt like gamma waves being like shot at me. I literally felt like my like spirit like just you know what I mean. So I started singing, right? Because if you like sing and it vibrates your throat, you know, like it boosts your nervous system, right? It's for healing. And so that's exactly what I started doing. I did like some screamo stuff, right? And it echoed outside. It literally echoed outside, you know. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like that was freaking weird, as if I was walking through some freaking tunnel. Okay. And not only that, but so I kept walking, and there was this guy with this dolly with this big flat piece of it looked like a satellite thing. Okay. And then he turned, like he came to the road, and I saw him on it, and then he turned, and it was like he disappeared. I didn't see him. You know, like I don't understand how anybody is able to freaking do this shit. I have no idea, man. And I was walking, and it's like I saw bodies, right? Like it felt like I was dragging a freaking cross, like Jesus, dude. I'm not kidding you. So halfway through, I actually started walking faster and harder. Like I was like, oh hell fuck no. I kept saying that. And I prayed. I literally prayed. I was like, man, God, please forgive them, for they do not know of what they do. Like it was so freaking messed up what they did. And I'm dragging this freaking like, I mean, it felt like I was dragging something, but then there was like bodies, man. And like I could see right through them. Literally I could see right through them. And I saw their outline, like, you know. And I've seen a lot of that. Like feds, or I don't know what they're able, like they're people, these people of authority are able to freaking do this shit. They can go invisible. You don't see them, you know. And it's like, it's just so freaking messed up, man. And so I really don't feel good. And they've radiated me so many freaking times, like 5G kind of stuff, you know. And like so often, but I know a soft wiggle frequency scale, so I would heal myself, right? And I really don't feel good. Anyway, so they put me in the mental crisis center, okay, because I started crying, and they sedated me illegally. They just had me in there just to poke and prod me. Really traumatizing shit, you know. Really traumatizing stuff, you know. And just freaking crazy, man. And man, there's just so much stuff that I really don't even everybody, just everybody in Lincoln. And I really don't feel good, and I hope one day that I could just really do this in like a better way, like to where I can really explain this, where I'm healthy and I can feel good, you know. But like my family was in on it, you know. And that's what hurt the most, like, you know, like for real, because my daughter had to watch me go through this shit. I didn't have to watch her. Like they messed with her. They terrorized her. My daughter's been molested. I tried to make a report on my father, you know, and no one listened to me. No one freaking listened to me, because all the lies that have been told on me. And it's just like they weren't real, you know. And anyway, like no one should be doing this to anybody anyway, dude, you know. And so I thought I was getting out of it. I had a way to get out of it, I thought, you know. And so I ended up coming to Shawnee, Oklahoma. Well, I was being poked and prodded there at this hotel, you know. I was like, Ian Foster was somebody I grew up with, you know. So I thought I was getting out of it. He was doing cement job, you know. I was just there with him like a friend. And anyway, so they had a hallway in between each hotel, like in between the hotel rooms at Colonial Inn in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Like they even told me about it, dude. And so I was on camera the entire time that I was there. I still wore clothes in the freaking shower, you know. And my other YouTube channel actually has a video of me singing to the mirror, and I'm singing to them. And it's crazy because the part, it was called Crazy. And the part where I say, like, something about my God, right? Like, my God's good, or I don't know what I said, okay? I'm not religious, I'm spiritual, but after that whole, like, the freestyle that I did, I went around the building, and they had spray painted on the cement, your God isn't real, or something like that, you know? And I mean, it's just crazy. They fed me rat poison for the longest time, and I actually listened to soft wave frequencies, so, like, they're sound waves, and I healed myself pretty quick, you know? But they pushed me out into the cold. Then I ran into somebody, and I met somebody in Shawnee, and I ended up going to their house and realized they were a part of it too, dude. I mean, everyone in my freaking life, everyone, this cult, this covenant, this secret society, all this fucking bullshit, like, I don't even know what to freaking call it, you know what I mean? It's like people of authority that should not be able to freaking do this stuff, like celebrities, like all this crap. It's such a like Illuminati bullshit, you know. And it's just fucked up, man, you know. And I don't know how much money I freaking have, but still, you know. And this happens to so many freaking people, and this is why I want to freaking say something, you know. And so like I left there, right, and I was walking because I was like, you know, fuck this. And like I was out in the middle of the country, and I started walking. I didn't care, you know. I've done that so many times where I just walked out into the unknown, you know, just with complete faith, you know, just respecting myself with integrity. Like I'm not gonna sit around and be treated like shit and just be slowly fed like poison so I can get sick and just die or something, you know? And so I started walking, man. There's Bigfoots like getting bigger and stuff. I heard howling, like they're humans, you know, people howling and the like how I can't even say it. In the background, so many people, man. And I walked like 2 miles, dude. And there's Bigfoots, like literally, they had Bigfoots like just to mess with my freaking head, dude. And so then finally, after 2 hours, it was so freaking cold, man, or 2 miles. I sat down, I put my knees in my Carhartt, you know, and I sat there right in the middle of the road. And next thing you know, like 5 minutes later, UPS pulls up and another car pulls up. They were so ready for this. And next thing you know, they're like, someone's calling the cops, you know, and then I got up, you know, when the cop got there, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'd rather you leave me alone, you know. And I started walking. Well, he started chasing me too, dude. And he grabbed me, man, and freaking, like, it's just so freaking traumatizing. He threw me in the cop car. No one really cared. No one's going to say anything because they're all a part of this, you know. And they took me to the mental crisis center here in freaking downtown OKC. And they sedated me illegally there too, you know, which is really just freaking traumatizing, you know, especially when you're not doing anything and they're just there to make you feel as if you're freaking crazy. This happens to people all the time. They got to make money somehow, you know, like whether if a person has money or not, or like if a person's poor, you know, they're still going to freaking mess with you. They're going to sell you on the dark web. You know, you're going to end up disappearing and missing if no one cares about you. Like, that's what's going on in this freaking world, you know? And, well, anyway, like, they ended up letting me out because I finally snapped and I recognized somebody, you know, and they were like, shit, I'm caught, you know. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was Colton. I don't know. But, so I got out and I ended up going to the mission, the city rescue mission. They started terrorizing me there too, put Nair shampoo, niacin in my body wash. I turned completely fucking red. My hair, I lost a lot of my hair. And then not only that, but all the women in the facility, they actually like had me like thinking that like some men were gonna come through the door and everyone was gonna get paid for sex. They were like, okay, you got your pay card, you're gonna get paid. And this girl like bent over her bed, like everyone was getting dressed over like in this lingerie. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, fuck this, dude. I called somebody from Nebraska that, you know, I thought would seriously like hear me out. And no, he said he would hit up his cousin Ashley, you know, and it's just like, I heard nothing back from that, and I'm talking to him, and he's like, well, if it's going down, leave. And so I did leave. I went out to the street. Next thing you know, these two random mother people kept walking up to me. I mean, for months, dude. And I mean, now I'm in freaking Midwest City. I mean, I don't even know if it's done, right? You know, I don't know. I don't really feel like it's over. I really do not feel like as if it's over yet. And well, anyway, so these two guys came up to me, and like I felt like as if like I was gonna be taken for like some sex traffic, you know. They came up to me and were mumbling words, and I was trying to talk to them. That like they were just trying to freak me out, you know. And OKC is like locked down, man. Everything's like locked down after that whole like attack on their building or whatever, and it crashed down. Like it's all locked down, dude. And it's like all the crap that is happening here and what I've seen just being here, like snuff films, people selling adrenaline and blood, you know, like killing people, so many people missing, right? And then all these homeless people downtown, just like this organized crime. Okay, organized freaking crime, dude, and that they've been doing for so freaking long, you know, and it's like I haven't been able to freaking get out of it, and no one's hearing me, you know. And not only that, but like the ropes, and back in Lincoln, they would hang ropes from trees. They would push people to go kill themselves. Like, so all those people that like you knew to be like happy and bright and like positive people, and next thing you know, they committed suicide. Dude, like and that's crazy because Kyle Christian, not only did he tell me about the fungal stuff and the experiment stuff, you know, and COVID and stuff, you know, he's like, how did you figure that out? You know, or MK Ultra stuff, you know, or 1%er stuff, you know, but he told me about how like a lot of those people that commit suicide, they're pushed to do it, man, because of whether for their money or somebody in that field or whatever doesn't like them. They're like, hey buddies, or coworkers, let's do this to this person, and it's not even right, dude, you know. And they're cops, so they can write it off, you know. They can write it off, they can make it look like whatever, you know. And so that happened so many times, and I'm just grateful that I was strong enough to get through this stuff, because so many people out there are not strong enough to get through this shit, and they do commit suicide, you know. They really do, and no one hears them, you know. And that's what's freaking crazy about it, dude. It's just like, this shouldn't be a freaking thing. It really shouldn't be a thing. Now hold on, man. Didn't start feeling good. Oh yeah, and then like back in Lincoln, when I started like freestyling and doing all that stuff from Colorado, so I came to Lincoln, and all these people that I had met, right? I mean, so many freaking people. Like, I would be freestyling and they wanted to freestyle with me. We'd freestyle. Next thing you know, like, they don't want to freestyle anymore. You know, because I would be freestyling about some real stuff, like my life, you know, trying to express myself, you know, my confidence. Everyone was so freaking jealous over it, you know. They felt like, and then like not only that, but like the people that were already in some social status, they didn't want me to be above them, you know. And I actually went to my baby daddy's house, Dylan's house too, and I asked him, I'm like, do you know about the gang stalking? Do you know about my inheritance? And he lied to me, dude. He looked at me like a deer in the headlights, man. Like he straight up lied to me because I saw him throughout the gang stalking, like all these people, like so organized, everybody in all this stuff, dude. And there was like little tiny helicopter, you know, the camera that would be across the sky and stuff. Not only that, but drones. There's so many freaking drones that would follow me. So I like would lay in the like on the ground, and I'd look up, and I'm like, oh, I get it. I'm a star. You get it? This drones, they look like stars. Yeah. So I mean, I found the humor in it. But not only that, but like another thing. Oh, this is so slappy, but I don't feel good, and this is what I'm doing right now. There was like a lot of campers back in the alleyways. I mean, so many, so freaking many, and I think that had like I know that had a whole lot to do with it. You know, and then up and down alleyways being irradiated with the 5G stuff. Like that shit's so real, man. It really messed me up, and no one freaking would listen to me. They were like, you're crazy. Like literally would tell me, you're crazy, you know? And I mean, it messed me the freak up, dude. And like, well, anyway, and then one time, like, this, oh yeah, I was going through downtown by the college, and they had these trailers there, and it had some studio, whatever the hell. So, like, that's how I know for a fact, like, there was a lot of, like, famous celeb people involved in this stuff, you know? And, like, this whole witch coven thing or whatever, or a cult, or, like, secret society stuff, but there's, like, celebrities, like, all a part of this stuff. And so anyway, they changed up this whole part of town that I was walking in, man. I mean, I've walked through this town. I know what this town looks like. I mean, the alleyways, everything. They would set up props. They would have beds outside, you know, as if I was going to pass out one day. That it's all leading up to that. I'm going to pass out one day. They would have beds out in their yards everywhere through the entire time, you know. It's a bunch of stuff. Ropes hanging from trees. The leaves, right? So that mold stuff and the leaves and stuff. They literally would start spreading leaves, you know, throughout their yard with a leaf blower, you know, just to get my sinuses all clogged up, just trying to mess me up. You know, just, I mean, all throughout Lincoln. And I don't think they realized that they really were messing themselves up at the same time. You know, and I tried to tell them that, but no one listened to me. Like, there were so many people that were going mentally ill already. Like, for real. And I'm not meaning that in a mean way. It's a real thing with the body anatomy and stuff that goes into our body and our brain, you know? And so no one wanted to listen, though. Like, literally, I could tell a person to go drink water. It's good for you. They'd be like, Taylor said to drink water. Don't drink water. You know, literally. Straight up, dude. And then Brian Schmidt and, yeah, he had my laptop one time. You know, he's friends with Colton, right? He had my laptop. I had freestyles on there, and I ended up leaving it in Omaha. And then when it came back to me, I mean, I had the memory out of it, everything out of it. Like, it was gutted, you know. And I couldn't even use my laptop, you know. And he was just like, "Dude, well, I don't know what to tell you because I didn't do nothing." And I know he did. He's the computer guy, you know. And damn, I don't know. It's like, yeah, dude, it's just, I mean, there's so much more. There's so freaking much more, dude. There's so freaking much more, man. But it's just like, I'm feeling sick. And, like, they set up shop like a movie scene, though. That, like, in Lincoln, it was freaking horrible. But even downtown OKC, like, here, like, it happened the same. Like, there was, like, a girl, like, these girls giggling around my tent because I had a tent because I left the mission. I was like, you know what? I'm not doing that. You know, I respect myself and I don't want to be messed with, right? So I got a tent. Well, these girls were, like, moving my tent and shaking it back and forth. It was not windy outside. I heard giggling. But you didn't even see these people. Like, and it's so messed up, and I'm not afraid to freaking say this shit, because this is what happens, and this is what happens to other people too, and it's not freaking cool, man, for people to literally be the ones to make people feel as if they are freaking crazy, so that way they can take them to a mental health ward, and, like, they end up disappearing. You know, that dark web shit is so freaking real, where they sell organs, all that kind of stuff, man, and it's like, everybody wants everybody to be quiet about this stuff. It's not cool, and there's no reason to be quiet about this shit, you know, for real, because, like, what else is gonna happen if you're quiet about nothing? Nothing's gonna happen if you don't say anything, you know? And it's like, this getting so freaking bad, and so many children nowadays are growing up in these, like, societies, you know, or in these, like, organizations, learning this shit, not even having a chance to freaking love or know of love, you know? They're automatically just, like, neglected and abused, you know, because their parents are pushing it back out onto them, because it was pushed back onto them, you know? I'm sorry, I'm just not breathing well. But so it's like they grow up thinking that this is how it is. And then this is what's making up our world. You know, no one's gonna kill their freaking trauma or heal themselves. So like it's passed down to our generation that when we want to be mad at our millennium, it's like we're responsible for them. You know, and no one's really considering that at all, and that's just really freaking messed up, man. And um, I do not feel good. Yeah, man, it's just it really exhausted me, and there's just freaking so much more, man. Just the whole freaking town. The whole town, my whole family, my Dylan's whole family, my baby daddy's whole family. There's so many lies were told on me, and I don't even know what they were. I don't care. But I just know who I am, and I love who I am, and I just want justice for my freaking baby girl, and I've been screaming about that forever, freaking forever. You know, and it's like it's not all about me. No, it's about my freaking baby. It's about my freaking baby, dude. And because she shouldn't have had to watch me go through any of that. Period. You know, and so like I mean I got compassion for people because it's like maybe they just miss their loved ones, okay? And maybe that's why they're doing this to people, because they're projecting they lost hope in themselves or in life, period, and they don't even know of love, so they don't know how to treat people, you know, and they're just trying to deal with it in the most negative way, you know. But it's like something's got to change. There needs to be a movement. This needs to be different. We need some freaking healing, because all this crap that's going on, it's like, what, we're gonna keep going and 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 what? No, it's inevitable that this stops. And I feel like it's time for this stuff to really seriously stop, because this happens to so many people. Like, people of authority abusing and neglecting and just totally not using their power for freaking good. And they're the people that are supposed to be watching over us, protecting and serving us, being there to, like, put systems together to help us, you know? And it's just like a lot of the people that go off to war, you know, they come back, you know, after killing people and just going through a bunch of crap. They don't even have benefits, like real honest benefits when they get here. They're not even able to heal from that, you know? And it's just like, of course, like, people are gonna sit there and plot and scheme. They don't know how to deal with their stuff, you know? And it's like, because it's all about money. You know, pharmacy, therapists, you know, they just want money. They don't really care, you know, and even if they do, it's like everything's about money. Hospitals, they don't even really know about chakras, you know, they don't know how all that crap works. They just know about money and if it's going to cost anything. If it doesn't cost anything, they don't care about you in the ER. Go on your way, you know, and they're all just going to basically sit there and smirk at you too, you know, and I mean, so many freaking things, dude. So many freaking things, man. I just like... Oh yeah, the people with the lime green vests and shit, like, you know, the people that work for the government, you know, just like, I mean, this is a thing everywhere, dude. And I'm not saying everyone knows about the stuff like this, but it is a huge thing. And so many people really do know stuff about this. And it's just freaking crazy. Because even right now, I'm still being gang stalked. I'm still being followed. I can walk anywhere and I got so many freaking cars on me. You know, and it's just like, I'm so used to it, you know, but I really am exhausted, and I really do not freaking feel good, and I seriously miss my freaking daughter, and I know my daughter freaking misses me, and this shit's not cool. It's just not freaking cool, you know. And I've met so many people where it's just like, the same things happen to them. They're like, well, the world's not going to change. I refuse to believe that. I seriously refuse to freaking believe that, you know. And like, I know that there's some people in this, like, society or, like, organization that is not down with this stuff, you know, but they're afraid to say anything because they don't want it to happen to them, or they don't want to lose their life. I mean, people kill people nowadays like it's nothing. Like, it's freaking nothing, you know? Like, people's lives don't freaking matter. They freaking do. People got feelings. You know, our children have freaking feelings, you know? We shouldn't be, like, traumatizing them so where their whole memory is blacked out, you know? And they can't even remember anything. Like, that should just not be going on. Our judges should be justified. You know, they should be, like, working through, like, that kind of area of things. Doing the right freaking thing, you know? Not being against or, like, you know, picking people out of the crowd, you know? And just, putting it all onto innocent freaking people. Innocent people. You know, and another thing that this Kyle guy had told me was the difference between a cop and a criminal is a freaking badge. Okay, and it's like, it's just freaking crazy. And, man, I could say a lot freaking more, and, because I can get heated, but I really feel like I'm losing my breath, because I do not feel good. My lymph nodes are swollen, my head is, like, I mean, my ears were ringing so hard, my head is so tight, And I'm just so like exhausted. I'm exhausted. You know, I'm literally freaking exhausted. And no one freaking hears me, and I'm not the only freaking one. And it's just freaking ridiculous how this shit is even freaking, I don't know, freaking, like, allowed to even happen, you know? So, I'll probably make more videos, like shorter videos. Guarantee I will, because I ain't giving up on this. You know, I really am not. Like, I'm really not. If no one's gonna say anything, if I gotta be the first one to step, I'll step. Dude, because this stuff's real, and I'm not good at keeping my mouth shut about stuff that's not right. Everybody knows that about me. I will be the one to say something, you know, and I will not be ashamed for it. You know, I will not. I love who I am. I've learned how to love who I am. I've been my own best friend through this whole entire thing, you know, and it's just like, that's what my daughter's got to be doing right now, is being her own best friend. And she needs love, and I'm her mother, and she needs me. So this shit's got to stop, you know, because if, for real, if you care about your children or anything, this shit needs to stop, and people actually need to start voicing their feelings and expressing what they are feeling or what they freaking have been through. You know, because like not saying anything at all is not going to help anybody else either. I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, bye. Okay.